Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Kim and welcome back to Uncommonkim. So today I thought I would do my 6-month review of the Our Fantasy bingo board. If you haven't seen, I did a whole video talking about my Our Fantasy TBR. I'll leave it linked down below if you want to go and watch that one, but this is basically, we're now 6 months into the Our Fantasy bingo for this year, or the year that it runs, and I thought I would go through and update you on prompts I've completed, but also I have made a hell of a lot of changes to my original TBR, so I thought I would now go through what basically I have done for each prompt again, just because the books I put for the prompts to originally I have now changed my mind on, so I just wanted to kind of update you, go through it, but just basically let you know my progress. So I have both my journals to go through. So we have 25 total prompts and I have officially completed 10. Which I don't think's that bad. I'm actually quite happy with that. I will go through the prompts I have completed first. Here is my bingo board. So this is the bingo board in general, and then here is my bingo board. So the books I have currently read for. So to go through those quickly, we have first in a series, I read The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. For alliterative title, I went for Somewhere Beyond the Sea. For criminals, I did The Bone Season. For dreams, I did The Honey Witch. For romantasy, I did Powerless. For multi-POV, I did Kingdom of Copper. For published in 2024, I read Feybound. For orcs, trolls, goblins, oh my, I read Bookshops and Bone Dust. For judge a book by its cover, I read Rewitched. And then for the... why did I put that there? For book club / I'm not doing book club, so for me it's a free space, I did Saint's Blood. So yeah, that's my general, the books I have read, the 10 books I have read for Our Fantasy so far. I'm now going to go through all the prompts I haven't yet fulfilled, and I'll mention the book I originally put down and the book I have now changed to, because I have pretty much changed them all, just because I'm in a different mood of what I want to read now compared to what I did 6 months ago. So under the surface, so originally I put Along the Razor's Edge. I have now actually put Spell Shop or Gods Below. I've got all of these recommendations from the Our Fantasy bingo on, oh my god, what's that app called? Storygraph. Every single one of these is from Storygraph. Pretty much, because then I know that I can guarantee that these are filling the right prompts. So yeah, so I've changed it now to Spell Shop or Gods Below. I'm really interested in reading both of these, especially because I'm in like my cozy fantasy era, so Spell Shop would work well for that. But also I do feel my epic fantasy era appearing soon. So Gods Below is another option, so I give myself 2 options just in case. The next one is entitled Animals. For this, originally I put Wolf Song, but because you can't put the same author twice, I've had to change this, because obviously I used Somewhere Beyond the Sea for TJ Klune. So I have now changed this to Wondersmith, which is the second book in the Nevermore series. I really enjoyed Nevermore when I read it, and I know Wondersmith does include a lot of animals, and a lot of entitled animals, so definitely excited to read that one, and I just think it'll be a cute, cozy, fun read. Next we have Bards, and originally I put Kings of the Wild, but I have now changed it to The Name of All Things, which is the second book in the Course of Dragons series, with the first book being Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. I really enjoyed Ruin of Kings. It was a 5-star for me, and I just haven't carried on the series yet. So I've put Name of All Things on there, which is book 2, in hopes it will kind of push me to read it, because it is quite a big series and they are quite big books, so I would like to get to them quite soon. Next we have prologue and epilogues, and originally I put Grey Sister by Mark Lawrence. I recently changed this just because I do want to continue with that series, but I just not yet. If that makes sense. I will do it, just yeah, not yet. So I have changed it to September House, which is on my October TBR, so I'm really hoping I can get to that one this month. For self or indie published, it is the same as it was in my original Our Fantasy TBR, which is The Bloodstones, which was previously a pick for the Indie Archive, which is the Patreon book club hosted by Mel and Cassidy. This was back from like April, March time. I just haven't got around to it yet, so still one I definitely want to read. Next we have Dark Academia, and originally I put The Will of the Many. I have now changed this to An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson, I believe, which actually hasn't come out yet, but it is the Literally Dead book club pick for November, and I really am enjoying reading along with that at the moment. It's definitely a book club that I'm really enjoying, so I definitely plan on reading that next month, so I just had to kind of fit it on here because it made sense. Next, for a character with a disability, originally I put The Last Argument of Kings, which is the 3rd book in the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie, but I keep putting that book off. Not to do with anything to do with the book or the author or anything really, it's just massive and it intimidates me a whole heckin' ton. So I've changed that to The Final Strife, which is by Sarah El-Sarafi, is that how you say it? And I really I've just realised she's the author of Feybound. And Feybound's on here, so I actually can't read that one. Oh, I might have to stick it to The Last Argument of Kings. If you have any recommendations for characters with a disability, let me know, because I've just realised that they're the same author, so I can't actually use that book. Ah, shit. Next we have published in the 90s, and originally I wrote Assassin by Robin Hobb. I haven't continued with that series yet, and I don't know when I will. I've tried to read the first book before, and I do just wonder if maybe Robin Hobb isn't for me. I don't really know. I do want to understand what the hype is about though, so maybe I will carry on. But for my redone TBR, I have put The Last Wish, which is the 1st book in the Witcher series. I love The Witcher as a TV Netflix show, and I really want to read the books, so I have put The Last Wish on here, and I believe it was published in like 1993 or something like that, so I'm very much interested in reading that one. Next we have space opera. Now I really don't do sci-fi. Sci-fi is not my jam, but it is what it is. Originally I put Aurora Rising by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman because I'd had recently read Obsidio since then, but I've changed my mind. And I give myself 2 options, and the 2 options I have given myself is Skyward, if I don't read another Brandon Sanderson between then and now, or Red Rising. I think it's probably going to be more Red Rising, only because I think I'm going to use Brandon Sanderson for a different prompt, so it probably will be Red Rising. And I hope I like it, because I know so many people that really enjoy it, and I don't want the whole fact that I don't really do sci-fi to affect that, but we don't know, we'll see. And then we have Author of Colour. So originally I put 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin, but I have now changed this to How to Become the Dark Lord or Die Trying by Django Wexler. I love Django Wexler. I have read the first 2 books in like the Ashes of Sun series, and I freaking loved them. I gave them both 5 stars. I just am yet to read the last book, and this sounds like a really fun, comical fantasy that I just want to read. I've heard quite good things, people are quite enjoying it, so I'm very, very excited to read that one. Next we have Survival, and originally I put The Well of Ascension, but because obviously I plan on using Brandon Sanderson for a different prompt, I needed to change that, so I have changed it to The Will of the Many by James Islington, which is a very, very much an anticipated release book in general for me. I'm really excited to read that one, and I've heard nothing but great things about it. I know Becca loved it recently, and I know Jade worships the ground that man walks on, so I'm very, very excited to read that one. I do really want to read it before the end of the year. Next we have Set in a Small Town, and I have kept this the same as my original TBR, which is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I really want to read this one. Again, I'm in my cozy fantasy vibe at the moment. I'm really, really enjoying cozy fantasies, and I feel like this is one that everyone's read and everyone talks about, so I think it's just one that I really need to read, and I probably will read in the next couple of months, if not early into next year. So yeah, definitely one that just needed to get on here. Next we have 5 short stories. Now originally I put Sharp Ends, which carries on in the first Law series, but because I've kind of binned off the last Argument of Kings, I've decided to bin that off too, and I have changed it to Secret History, which is a part of the Mistborn series. I think on Goodreads it said like 3.5, so I'm assuming you need to read Well of Ascension and Hero of Ages and then that can count. So yeah, I'm gonna count that one because I don't really read short stories, so if you have any recommendations for short stories that might be easier instead of me having to read 2 chunker of books first, let me know, because I would be interested. I just don't read short stories. Short stories aren't really my thing, but if you have any recommendations, let me know. Next we have Eldritch Creatures, and I have again kept this the same as my original Our Fantasy TBR, which is Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. I am going to be reading Shadow of the Gods for the first time this month, because Jade's Patreon buddy read is now going to be that series. The 3rd and final book comes out this month, and next week I'm going to meet John. And I'm so, so excited. He is doing a like a chat, sign your books kind of thing next week in Bath with Mark Lawrence. So I'm going to that. I'm going to get him to sign my Boyfriend the Fallen book, or books. I haven't decided what books to take yet. I definitely want to take Malice just because it's the OG, and I think I don't want to like overwhelm him. So I think I might then take my hardback of Wrath and A Time of Courage, because those are like my 3 favourites. I love all of them, but those are the 3 that Malice made me fall in love, Wrath made me cry, and A Time of Courage is the saddest book I have ever read in my entire life. So I think I'm going to take those 3 and get them signed. So I definitely want to get Shadow of the Gods on here, because his 3rd book that's coming out is Fury of the Gods, which is the 3rd book in that trilogy. So definitely want to get those read ASAP. I'm not going to get them read before next week, but soon. Definitely soon. Next we have reference materials. So originally I put The Name of All Things for this prompt, but obviously, as you know, I have changed that to a different prompt now. So I have put Fourth Wing in because I haven't actually got a reread on here, and I want to reread Fourth Wing, to then read Iron Flame for the first time, to then read Onyx Storm, which comes out in January. So Fourth Wing was a must-have basically to get on this TBR. But that is my kind of update for you on my Our Fantasy bingo board. As I said, I have read 10 books, which I'm actually quite happy with. 10 out of 25, halfway through isn't bad. Bearing in mind I really haven't been in my fantasy era this year. I've very much been a kind of whatever you want to read at the time, Kimbo, go for it. Like, if something comes through the door and you want to read it, because that's just the only way I've been able to get myself to read recently. And at the moment I'm definitely in my spooky era, so kind of cozy fantasies, like witchy vibes have really helped with that, but also just like spooky shit is divine. So I definitely think in the next coming like 3-4 months is when my fantasy era will appear, and especially in April, because Ramathon, actually no, it's March now, it's March, so Ramathon, that always gets me in my fantasy era. So yeah, basically that is my updated Our Fantasy Bingo board, and my little update for you on how I'm getting on. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like if you liked the video. If you made it to the end of the video, leave me a dragon emoji. Let me know if you read any of these books or any recommendations you have for any prompts. Let me know down below. I really love your help. And subscribe if you're new, as we are on our way, kids, to 400 subscribers, which is a tiny bit insane. I'd love to hit that by the end of the year. I think that would be phenomenal. And a little bit scary, but all the other sense of it. But yeah, I'm really thankful for everyone that does watch my videos. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon for another video. Bye.